Okay, today we're talking about how to build a film budget, a step-by-step guide. There are steps that you have to do when someone hands you the script and you go, okay, how do I put the budget together? The first thing I do when I take a look at a script and I go, all right, what budget are we thinking of here, is I look at the scope. Meaning, what are the elements of the film? Like, where does it take place? How many locations are there going to be? How many casts are going to be involved? And the scope can vary from one room, it's like it all takes place in a bathroom or a trunk of a car or something like that, all the way to a movie that has multiple locations and it's taking place in sports stadiums, and then it's in France, and then it's also in Italy, and it's in UK. It's like, all right, that's a big scope, right? And so those are much different. So that's the first thing you do, take a look at the scope. The next part is then, like I said, locations, is specifically the locations that affects the budget. So how many are there? There one, is there five, is there 50? Right? And then you start to think about, okay, well, we can shoot that here, we can shoot this here, and we can shoot, we have access to this, and you start to put those locations together. Again, talking as well as, in the process of looking at the scope, when you're talking about the cast, that's also a consideration, is that you go, okay, how many characters are there? Are there 50 characters? Is there one character? Is there 5 characters? That's going to affect the budget, right? And then specific to cast, then you start to go, okay, how big do I want this cast to be? Do I want them to be A-list, B-list, C-list? Do I want it to be unknowns? That's going to make a difference in the budget as well. The next aspect that you have to start to think of is, how much crew do you need? How many crew people do you need to be able to pull this off? If there's going to be some crazy practical effects on camera, you're going to flip cars or something like that, you have to start to factor that in. Okay, and when you're talking about effects, you also have to mention visual effects. How many visual effects are there going to be, right? Is there going to be some big post budget where you need visual effects, or you need some crazy composing, or you need access to 1950s music that you have to license? Okay, so these are all aspects that I think of when I look at a script. I don't just think of, okay, yeah, well, let's pick a number, $2 million. Yeah, great, let's do it for that. Which, by the way, I think a lot of people do. I have seen it happen where somebody will say, yeah, I want to do this horror movie for $2 million. And I go, okay, why $2 million? They're like, well, I just figured it could be done for $2 million. And it's like, maybe they've never produced before. Even I don't do that. And I've produced almost 30 movies now. So it's something where I look at it and I go, okay, this takes place on a ranch in Texas. Do I have access to that ranch? And there's 3 characters, okay? We can shoot it this way, all right, but there's a little bit of a horror and there's gonna be some limbs cut off or something like that. Okay, we have to have practical effects and this and that. So that's how you start to build a budget. Using all of those elements together is how that you start to craft and you start to get an idea of how you're gonna put that budget together. Now work with your line producer to get the actual numbers that you need to try to make it happen. Hey everybody, quick pitch on the Movie Producer Mastermind at Filmmaking Stuff HQ. If you want to learn how to finance your film, make your film, and then sell it and distribute it, this is where you need to be. It's the ultimate resource for putting your movie together. If you want to make your dream come true, you're going to want to check it out. Also, hit like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We put up new free content every week.